What genre do you think the magazine is?
I think indie.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think because of the choice of it's quite a plain kind of picture, but then it's not overcomplicated, so the text is quite clear and bold, and it's really, because it's like a bright blue, it's quite prominent to the front cover.
Also says the Independent Music Magazine, which shows it's not part of like the big. So it shows it's not part of like one of the big companies that makes lots of music magazines. So it's
yeah, you've got like a little.
Yeah, Max,
you could also tell that it looks a little bit punky as well, from the way that it's written, the colour right at the front used as well, because it's kind of that like paint splatter effect, similar to that scene in the punky era.
Because you have like the two white lights in the background, but it's quite dark at the front. It doesn't like come across as too much for the person's eye.
I also like with the colour scheme how it's used the same blue all the way, but also the white, because I think the blue and the white complement each other really well.
If I were to do the magazine again, what elements do you think I could improve on?
Maybe just have a few more like things to fill the page up a bit more, maybe.
Yeah, like little details.
Yeah, perhaps like small signs, like Facebook, Instagram or something.
Or maybe make the image kind of maybe stylise it a little bit more, so there's kind of a little bit more graphic around the edge of it, to kind of fill that space a little bit, and make it a little bit more interesting, give it a bit more depth.
you could also include like you could maybe include not like a competition, but for example like a subscribing, like if you subscribe then you've received this like free thing, or like free music voucher, or like free download, so it like grabs the audience's attention because they're getting something free.
Something's a bit extra to
Like
make it.
grab the audience.
Yeah.
Do you think that the layout is successful?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good the way that you've got the different kind of different focuses split up into different areas. So whether you've boxed off the different chapters and then the kind of the general contents, and then they've got the links at the top, it's easy to read.
Yeah, because it feels like the whole page, so it's not like spread out, and it's not like a bare contents page like I've seen before. It's kind of everything's filled and organised.
And you've carried on the colour scheme from the front cover with the blue and the white, which was like on the cover it was really successful, and it also shows like continuity throughout the magazine, that you've like carried it through, and that it's all part of the same one.
Yeah, and the title like stands out so much. Like I really like the hashtag Break the Barrier. Like that fits in with the indie style. I think it's really effective.
Yeah, that's good.
I really like the white borders around the pictures as well, though, because it kind of not separates, but makes things clear of where everything is. I really like the white around the outside.
And also having a background, I think it says water. Having a background of water instead of just a plain white background also makes it easier for the things to be separated, and it kind of adds a bit of like paint. Oh, is it paint?
Yeah, it's shiny paint.
Okay, shiny paint then. Having depth of like shiny paint shows that it like adds more depth to it and doesn't make it so it's all just like plain white, which I think would be quite boring, and it would have a lot of extra space.
What do you think the most successful aspects of the double page spread?
I like the way the picture's off centre. So it's like not dead set in the middle, it's not just on one side, it's kind of in the middle. So it makes it kind of look really indie and like unusual for a magazine. Different layout to normal.
I think there's a big focus on the blue though. So a lot of it, so that the front page and the contents pages all have like blue elements, and even in this it says out of the blue, and even the person's eyes. It looks as if everything looks as if it's been purposely made so that the blue is a really prominent feature of the magazine.
There also seems like there's the deliberate contrast with the face paint that's on the picture. It deliberately stands out from the blue, so it's something that actually jumps out a little bit, which is kind of towards the centre of the page a bit more. So it's kind of like focusing on that a bit.
Yeah, it draws your attention like to who the person is, and then I like how the text is kind of slid in underneath the title, and it's not just kind of like your standard title text. Like it all kind of fits, and it works well because it's like the indie style.
It also like that image shows kind of like a more playful side to her. in a way, and you've got like the bracelets that are really bright and colourful, and obviously the face paint and like a bit of a ribbon, and that she's got her hand covered over her mouth, kind of like is like more playful and like a fun side of her rather than a really serious side.
What idea do you get of the star in it? Do you think that she's like, what ideas do you get from her?
I think she's like really easygoing, like fun.
Yeah,
she's that
kind of like lively
artist.
and bubbly person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like one of the people that would be like a singer-songwriter as well, rather than just like a manufactured pop artist.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
might not have a star persona. She's just more of a relatable person rather than someone who's like completely out of reach for the audience.
Yeah, I'd agree with that actually.
And do you think the use of font, like the font I've chose, and I've continued it quite a lot through my magazine, I've got like some contrasting fonts as well with that different font there, but on the front page, but do you think that's successful? Do you think it's boring? Do you think I use it too much?
No, I think it's good because it shows continuity all the way through. So like if you saw those three, like not necessarily like together, but like on the same thing, you'd be able to tell that they were all together.
Yeah, and it just stands out so much on each page. Like, it doesn't blend into the page, it just stands out, so I think it works well.
Yeah, it's got a nice balance between being stylised and actually clear.
Yeah. And because it's capital as well, kind of makes it more of a feature.
I've tried to use a contrast between like a minimalistic kind of thing, but also more of like a chaotic, like I've tried to kind of mush the two together. Do you think that's successful, or would you prefer to just see one style? Or
I'd say it's worked here because it kind of, again, it goes along with the whole indie kind of style, and it's not like a boring page spread where you just stare at it. It's like the same standard kind of pop spread that you see with like the text and the colours.
Yeah, I think it works well because it's not like it's so simplistic that it's boring. There's nothing on the page. It's just a nice mix. Like, it looks alternative and like original, and at the same time, it still gives you like enough information and stuff to look at on the page. So yeah.
And also like on every page, you've included like either a Twitter or like a social media link or a website, which kind of shows like the digital side of your product. It's good because it's like linking you with